Hey everybody, it's your girl, Hardwood Diva, here with Hardwood Diva's Week 4 NFL picks. Today, October 2nd, we're going to go ahead and get you all the information for this week's games. First up, my pick for the Week 4 game of the week. This game is going to be actually the first game that's up, and it's the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, I love the Dallas Cowboys, but the reason I'm really picking this game is because of both teams. Detroit Lions now 3-0. I'm not sure who predicted that this season, but I know it wasn't me. Knew that the Detroit Lions were going to be much better, but I didn't expect to see the grit, the drive, the just total amazingness that I'm actually seeing out of the Detroit Lions. This isn't a team that's giving up and kind of succumbing to that old Detroit Lions feel. They're actually doing really well, trying comeback wins, all that kind of stuff. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. So this game is going to be on Fox. It's going to be at 10 a.m. First game, first kickoff. So go ahead and make sure to check that one out. We saw some great things from Tony Romo last week. Bruised ribs, punctured lungs, didn't stop him. He still did a great job. No, we didn't see any actual pass touchdowns, but with the team that they were playing with and with all the craziness that was going on, they were still able to pull this one off, so it was great to see them. Next up, another 10 o'clock game. We've got the Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. This one is going to be interesting. Oh, I forgot to give you my pick for Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys. If you know me, I think you know the pick, Dallas Cowboys. Like the Detroit Lions, but I'm going with Dallas. All right, sorry. Back to the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. Interesting. Cam and the Panthers got their first win last week. Seeing some interesting things out of the Bears right now. Not really sure who I'm going to pick. I like Cam Newton more than I like Jay Cutler. But this is Chicago Bears and a pretty decent Chicago Bears defense at home, so I'm going with the Chicago Bears. Next up, we have Pittsburgh versus Houston. I'm going with Pittsburgh. They looked kind of crazy that first week, but they've definitely come back the last couple of weeks. I've seen more out of them. Houston Texans seem to be the Houston Texans that we've always seen, which is somehow finding a way to lose. Going to go with Pittsburgh even though it's at home. Next up, we've got the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is interesting. Tennessee, Cleveland Browns, So, who do we pick? Home game, I think Peyton Hillis will be back. Cleveland Browns. There we go. I don't know. Somebody pick one, right? Next up, Buffalo and Cincinnati. Totally have no problem eating crow. Buffalo Bills definitely are a team to watch out for. I know they've had these, weird-looking seasons where they go 4-0 and then just, totally bomb the next ones. But I liked what I saw against the Patriots. So I'm thinking that, I've seen them with the Patriots. I've seen them, just different teams. They did well against, they're 3-0. They did well against the Raiders, who actually are a very good team in themselves. And so I'm going to have to go with the Buffalo Bills, even though this game is in Cincinnati. Washington and St. Louis. Interesting. Didn't like what I saw out of St. Louis. Washington, I don't know. So I think I might go with Washington on this one. And I really don't know which one of these teams is going to be better. But right now I'm going with Washington. Because St. Louis I'm not seeing as much as I'd like to see out of them. As much as I thought I'd see out of them. Minnesota at Kansas City. Yeah. This is another great of totally underperforming teams. Minnesota? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to go with Minnesota because I guess I see more potential with Minnesota. Not sure. I really think this is kind of us seeing the end of Donovan McNabb. This is just now 2 seasons where we haven't seen him be able to do the things that he once was able to do. Unfortunately, especially for running quarterbacks, there is a time limit on you. And I unfortunately think this is Donovan's time. It's time for them to start setting up and getting ready to move on to the next era for Minnesota Vikings football. And I want to see them playing Adrian Peterson more. He's doing well in first half, second half. He's not doing well, and I think part of that problem is they're not playing him as efficiently or as much as they need to. They're using him in situations I don't think they should be using him, and then using those poor yardage situations to then say, well, he's not doing well. But I don't think they're putting him in the position to be successful in the second half, which I don't really understand how that's working. But I see there's much more potential with Minnesota. So for this one, I'm going with Minnesota over Kansas City. I'm picking a lot of away teams now. San Francisco at Philly. I'm going with Philly on this one. The dream team, as people have been calling them, not doing so well, but I think in a season where you added a lot of people, you had a lockout situation, they didn't have a lot of time to play together, we're going to have to wait to see them gel. Truly, truly gel. So I'm going with Philly on this one. New Orleans at Jacksonville. I like New Orleans. I'm going to go with them. Jacksonville's not terrible. But I'm going to go with New Orleans on this one. All right, next up we've got our 1 o'clock games. So for 1 o'clock, first game up, Atlanta at Seattle. I know this is technically a trap game in the sense that they're having to fly from one end of the country to the next. Literally, they're flying from the southeast to the northwest. But I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons on this one. Just think that they have a better team overall, and they should beat the Seattle Seahawks. Giants at Arizona. They're up and down. I can't even call them right now. I like watching the Cardinals normally. Giants proved something major last week, but this is another one where they're traveling from one end of the country to the next, and I'm not sure how they'll do in University of Phoenix Stadium. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals for this one, and it's only because of that whole distance issue. If a couple of their players are injured, even though they're traveling with them, we're not sure if they're going to play. So I'm tentatively going with the Arizona Cardinals. Denver at Green Bay. Miami at San Diego. It's just not going to happen. Now, this one's going to be interesting. New England at Oakland. Though New England had a horrendous letdown this past weekend with the Buffalo Bills, and you would think they're going to be just totally up and ready to go for that next one and not want to get into... This is a trap game of major proportions. You are coming from the East Coast to the West Coast. Going in to play Oakland is just not something most people want to do. Those Raiders fans are crazy. Seeing them firsthand, they are crazy. And it can get really loud in that stadium. They have no run defense. None at all, New England. And right now, Darren McFadden is killing the game. Literally killing the game. So, if they just hand the ball off to him and just kind of, here and there use their QB, I really see that they could honestly beat New England. Now, of course, New England has Tom Brady, which is somebody nobody else has. I really am going to go with Oakland. I may live to regret that, but I'm going to go with Oakland on this one. And then finally, for the evening game, Sunday Night Football on NBC, we've got the Jets at Baltimore. Now this is going to be interesting. Jets, pride themselves on defense, however, were embarrassed in Oakland, which is why I'm thinking New England will be, because Jets have much better defense than New England has. I digress. But Baltimore is a team that can run. And being that we saw the Jets not being able to stop Darren McFadden, I'm not really sure how that's going to be with Baltimore either. Ray Rice is good. Like seeing him play. He's a quality back, top quality back. So this is going to be interesting. Must go with gut. Gut is saying Jets. Head is saying Baltimore. Gut saying Jets. I think it's because I like the Jets. But I'll go with my heart. Jets. We're going with the Jets for this one. And finally, our Monday night game is going to be the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Indiana showed some heart this weekend. But I'm going with Tampa Bay. So, those are the games. Those are my picks. You let me know what you think. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. Love you guys. Have a great football weekend.